swelling and swelling and swelling. انتفاخ. بالإنجليزي شنو؟ abnormal body enlargement. localized enlargement upon body. يعني الإديمة swelling صح؟ طيب الديفرنس شنو between a tumor والسويلنج؟
بين ايش؟
tumor نفس السويلنج؟ ها؟
ماس بس السويلنج
ممكن تكون هارد.
بعدين واحد تو توك سنس ما ميديكال لسه ليمين جارجون ميديكال جارجون يعني ما كلام العوام كلام الأطباء. What's the definition of tumor؟ ما من جوجل from your brain. Yes؟ ها؟ هارت؟ ما يكون هارت. اللايبوما تيومر ولا ما تيومر؟ It is soft مش كده؟ soft. هو cellular proliferation مش كده؟ The growth due to abnormal cellular proliferation which should not have physiological function. يعني إذا كان الانلارجمنت ده cellular proliferation to compensate for the function هذا ما تقول على tumor. لكن tumor لما يكون شنو؟ abnormal proliferation of cells that exceeds the normal death process. النورمال death process في السيلز اسمها شنو؟ apoptosis. apoptosis is a programmed cell death يعني الخلايا اللي بتتكاثر أكثر من اللازم البودي بيتخلص منها by the process of programmed cellular death اسمها apoptosis. If the proliferation of cells exceeds this normal cell death يبقى the end result will be a swelling مش كده tumor. This could be benign or malignant. وأهم حاجة لازم يكون ما عنده شنو؟ It has no role to the function. يعني إذا كان مثلا الانلارجمنت في الثايرويد اللي produce no hormones يبقى ممكن يكون ده شنو؟ ثايرويد tumor صح؟ whether it is benign or malignant. لكن إذا كان الانلارجمنت ده to compensate for the function ده the time of puberty or time of pregnancy مش كده increase demand for thyroxine الجلاند بيحصل لها diffuse enlargement ما تقول على tumor. Okay, this is physiological enlargement to compensate for the function. طيب what is the definition of ulcer? ulcer يعني
breakdown of the epithelium. breakdown of the epithelium.
breakdown in the
epithelium.
in the epithelial yes in the epithelial surface epithelial. إذا كان عندك cells هنا متراصة okay عاملة epithelial surface. If there is any break here in this one, then we call this ulcer. If I have a break in epithelial continuity, then this is an ulcer. Ulcer would occur then anywhere where there is an epithelial surface. مش كده؟ يعني ممكن تكون ulcer في respiratory tract, في genital tract, في gastrointestinal tract, في السكين, في الماوس, أي حتة covered by epithelium. If there is break in the epithelial continuity, يبقى this is
ulcer.
ulcer. This is an ulcer. Then we define both swellings and ulcer. Then we come to the examination. We start with the examination of swelling. Very short session. لكن you need to practice it much عشان to gain the skills. أول حاجة في swelling you want to know where is the site of the swelling. Site where. This is the most important thing. يعني أنت for example, the examiner asked you to examine the abdomen of this patient, and you found that there is a swelling on the left hypochondrium. You have to localize it anatomically accurately. If there is a swelling in the right hypochondrium or left hypochondrium or below the umbilicus or above the umbilicus, to the right of the umbilicus, to the left of the umbilicus, in the inguinal region. Okay? You have to decide anatomical location of that swelling. Then the shape of that swelling. Is it a regular shape? Is it oval? Is it discoid? مش كده؟ Is it rounded؟ على حسب ما انت شايف كده الشيب حقها ايش؟ Is it orange shape؟ مش كده؟ Whatever the shape of the swelling, you have to describe it. If it's irregular, you tell that this swelling is irregular. You cannot give shape to it. Then the size of the swelling. Size of the swelling. The size of the swelling, it can be estimated by just inspection. تقول والله this is for example 2 by 3 إذا كان حاجة صغيرة and you have to know the dimensions of your fingers. احنا زمان كان بيقول لك تحط ايدك كده مثلا for my fingers إذا كان 4 fingers this is 8 centimeters. يعني you can tell if this only 2 you can use 4 centimeters 1 2 centimeters كل واحد بعد ما قطع أصابعه بعدين. Okay, then you can estimate the size or the accurate by measuring tape or ruler. معك مسطرة و measuring tape تحط هذا السويلنج هنا وهذا this is مثلا 1 by 1. You have to measure it in two dimensions or 2 dimensions they يكون crossing each other. هذا بيتكلم ولا
يتنفس بس.
يتنفس؟ ما عنده نقطة. Okay. Then this is a measurement. Measurement you said either you estimate the size إذا كان حاجة صغيرة إذا كان كبيرة you better measure it with a measuring tape or ruler. يعني swelling grade كده ما هتعمل له estimation. You better measure it by measuring tape in 2 crossing dimensions. يعني يكون واحد vertical واحد transverse to say that it is 3 by 4, 5 by 6, 8 by 9, whatever measurements you get it. This is about the size. Then the surface. How it look? شكل السيرفيس كده. Is it smooth or postulated surface? Smooth or postulated or irregular? You can tell irregular. ها? Smooth surface ايه هذا؟ Smooth يعني شنو مستوي ها؟ Smooth يعني مستوي. Or irregular surface. Surface can be irregular or postulated surface. Okay, this is by inspection. And then the color. Color of the swelling. It could be of normal skin color, صح؟ يشبه اللون السكين أو يمكن يكون red for example an abscess مثلا an abscess تلقاه حتة inflamed and red والله تلقاه tumor hyperpigmented تلقاه black مثلا dark اللي هذا. Okay. Then the color of the swelling and the surrounding skin. السكين اللي حوله هل هو normal color ولا also involved in the process of inflammation for example. والله tumors يكون عنده mid surrounding زي الميلانوماس مش كده؟ يكون التيومر is dark black and there is a satellite lesions around it. يتحدث عن الcolor. And then scars of previous surgery. شوف السويلنج يمكن يكون breast mass يكون operated before this is recurrent tumor recurrent swelling تلقى فيه scar of previous surgery مثلا indicating this mass was removed before and then it recur again يبقى scars of previous surgery or scars of cautery sometimes تلقى عيان عنده swelling هنا مثلا طويل splenomegaly وهذا مشهور بتاع الدكاترة ما استفادوا راحوا ودوه لشنو؟ للتراديشنال هيلر راح حاطط عليه شنو؟ cautery marks are the traditional treatment but you have to comment on it if you حصلتها أو يكون في dilated veins around it تلقى تيومر كده وفي veins crossing the swelling also you have to comment on it by inspection there is a dilated veins or not. إذا كان pulsating the tumor you have to comment on that there are aneurysmal dilatations. Okay. أو يكون التيومر is resting on a vessel جالس على artery مثلا تحته artery كل ما الارتري يعمل pulse it push the tumor until the tumor is pulsating then we come to differentiate later on between a pulsatile and expansile tumor. Okay. If there is discharging sinuses over the tumor يعني يمكن يكون التيومر ده for example breast زي الناس اللي عندهم بكتيريا وتلقى فيه شنو discharging sinus في فتحة صغيرة و it secretes pus or fluid or milk whatever. Look at this by inspection. Anyone want to add anything by inspection? The swelling يعني inspection ده نعرف السايد هذه نعرف الشيب هذه نعرف السايز نعرف السيرفيس is regular irregular the color if there is scars of previous surgery, if there is dilated veins, if there is sinuses over the lesion. Okay. Then next, after inspection, what will be the examination sequence? Normal examination sequence. Is it swelling? Then look, feel. مش كده؟ Then you start palpation. شو start palpation? ها؟ طيب لازم تكونوا عارفين إن شاء الله. Then after inspection, you finish inspecting the tumor and you describe it. Then you start touching the tumor. Touch first. You ask the patient before touching it whether there is pain or no. مش كده؟
Yes.
ما تحبش أي مريض. Don't touch any patient in any examination anywhere without being asking the patient whether he has pain or no. إذا كان قال لك أي تقول له please localize it with one finger. وحدد ورجع أصبعين. So that you will be careful مش كده؟ وتطمن العيان تقول له I will not hurt you. أنا ما حأعورك ما حأوجعك. I will not make you painful. And then if possible start away from the area of pain. And when you come to the area of pain be gentle. In your examination يكون عندك الإكزامينيشن يبدأ خفيفة على ما تتعب. Okay? Then for palpation we need to know temperature and tenderness first. Okay, temperature by the back of your hand. ما تبيش كده تقول أنا am checking the temperature. Temperature is applied the back of the hand and you compare it to a normal skin. فتبدأ مثلا يسوي لك الاريا هذه have you put hand here and then here or here and here comparing on the same side on the other symmetry of the body to tell if there is there is a fever or no, or this is hot or normal. And then when you come to palpate for tenderness, gently and look to the patient eyes. On touching the tumor, gently and looking to the patient eyes to see if there is any grimacing in the face. Okay, that is a sign that the patient is feeling pain. What's next? Then the service also be a service by inspection, be a service by touch. Okay, that's your surface here. Smooth surface ولا postulated surface. Postulated معناه nodular surface. I feel the surface all over. Okay. Then the surface consistency. You want to know the composition of this as well. The composition. Okay. يبقى هنا يكون شوية deep and feeling with the tips and palm of your hand. Okay. And trying to know whether this consistency is solid, soft, or firm. مش كده؟ Solid like skull, firm like the tip of the nose, and soft as the lips. مش كده؟ soft as the lips. Sometimes might be cystic. Cystic تحس إنه هو كأنه كيس مليان فلويد. Cyst is a fluid filled sac. مش كده؟ fluid filled sac. ده cystic. ممكن تحس إنه شنو؟ cystic. What's next after the consistency? You define the edge. شوف الإدج حتى عنده edge defined or no. Has a defined edge or no. هل في حدود للسويلنج ده that you can touch it or no. Okay? You go around the swelling and to see the limit of the swelling, the end of the swelling. اللي بيسموه الإدج مش كده؟ حواف السويلنج. نهايات السويلنج. You have to touch. And then you comment in this well defined or ill defined. Comment بيكون شنو؟ either well defined edges if you can feel it and ill defined if you cannot. Sometimes the tumor becomes diffused مش كده penetrating the tissues so that you cannot reach its end. Then you will tell this is ill defined edge. Then edge will be well defined or ill defined مش كده؟ ill defined or well defined. And then after the edges, what's next? Measure the size. هنا بالmeasure tape to confirm إذا كان if you did not measure it in the first time. and then في specific things related to the consistency اللي هو fluctuation test. Fluctuation test. Fluctuation test, you want to know this tumor or this is swelling or this mass containing fluid or not. How to do fluctuation test. جبت لكم معي هذه البالونة عبيتها مويه عشان أوريك how to do certain exams. إذا كان this is the swelling which is here, you want to check for fluctuation. لو جيتوا قريب بتشوفوا أحسن. Okay, fluctuation, you put two fingers at the edges of the thumb and then you press on the center. What will happen to my fingers? عين صباعي هذا وش يصير عليهم؟ They go away from each other مش؟ لأنك أنت شنو؟ Once you reduce the anterior posterior diameter لأنه الvolume is constant, the fluid will be displaced transversely and then the transverse diameter will increase. This is you call fluctuation test. When you do it in the opposite direction, I will remove my fingers from here and put them there, crossing the previous line, and then press again to confirm this is fluctuating. This is fluctuating. This is confirmed that this sac is containing fluids. ده اسمه شنو؟ fluctuation test. في حاجة تانية also related to the consistency. If this mass is a vascular mass, it could be arterial or venous. Okay. إذا كان arterial في two test. في pulsatility and expansibility test. Pulsatility, you put two fingers over the swelling. If my fingers go up and down, say this mass is pulsatile. Pulsatile. This could be either there is no aneurysmal dilatation or there is an artery under the swelling that is pushing the swelling up and down with each pulsation. And then the expansibility test, this is especially for aneurysms. Put أصابعك كده, and then when it pulsates, then your fingers will go apart. Fingers will go apart. This is expansibility. This is expansibility. في تاني reducibility. Reducibility, you reduce the tumor, the swelling, it completely disappears. خلاص هذا هنا ضغطت بأصبعي رجعته خلاص, it disappears completely. Okay. We call this reducibility. Reducibility. This occurs in case of hernia. The swelling will not go back again unless there is an opposing force. تقول للعيان كح. This is an opposing force مش كده؟ وتقول له ارفع راسك against resistance. This will make the swelling come back again. And this is a feature of hernia. إذا كان ال swelling reducible with a positive impulse, cuff impulse, معناها this is a feature of شنو hernia. ده peculiar hernia, ما في حاجة تانية غير hernia بتعمل this one. في ال compressibility, you compress the swelling to reduce it back. Once you remove your finger, it comes again alone without an opposing pressure. This is a feature of venous swelling, زي varicose veins. Varicose veins, you press, you reduce the swelling because you disperse the fluids. Once you remove your finger, the fluids will come back again, and this is, we call it, you know, compressibility. يبقى عندنا fluctuation test والcompressibility والreducibility. This is feature of each. Then we'll come to the translumination. This is a feature of fluid. عندكم then torch pen.
ايش؟
torch pen.
طبعاً.